They all three had Versace shirts. So we were trying to get a Versace deal out of one of the stores in Orlando, right? So they had their Versace shirts, and it was so awesome. And I was in a long black gown, and they did several shots with me in the forefront and the three like posed and looking at me, and then some with me laying across them with their hands straight out, and I was straight as a board on my side. And Chris told me at one point, he goes, flirt to the camera, Tasha. I know how to model, right? Well, I actually am better at teaching others, but I knew how to do it. He said, flirt with the camera, Tasha. You're not flirting. I stood there and I had no emotion in my eyes, none. And I just looked at him. I go, I can't. He goes, Tasha, what do you mean you can't? I just shook my head. I go, I can't. I can't. And he kept saying, what do you mean? Just flirt, bat your eyes, look a little sexy, and he was telling me, he goes, you've done it before. I've seen you do this before. I'm like, okay, all right. And I closed my eyes. I imagined that I was really happy. I imagined that there was somebody that I was really attracted to, which was kind of telling when you're in a relationship. And I opened my eyes, and they were the same emotionless eyes. I could go through all the motions, but I was losing myself. I was losing myself in the pain. So that's an example of, if you hold on to your resentments will start holding on to you. They will start squeezing your life from you. They will take you from the things you love, and you will not have all of yourself to offer to this amazing business that you have. So there is a way for you to reveal your soul, to start a business, to learn all the systems, to get everything into place to duplicate yourself, and to be free. There's a way to call your spirit back every single day. And there's a way. In fact, you know what? Since we do have the time, I'll go ahead and go through a way. Meditation is a way to quiet your mind and hear messages. Prayer is talking to God. In your business, the first thing you want to do is have some morning time that's just for you. I actually had to leave that magazine at 3.5 years, and I never even told Chris. In fact, I'll tell him about this podcast. I'll tell him about this show, and he'll hear it and go, that's what you were going through? Maybe I told him years later, but I don't recall that. But either way, you can go through a lot, but if you don't get rid of it, it's going to suffocate and kill you. So I had to leave the magazine to figure out what I was going to do. I was slowly coming to terms with the fact that this was not working. I was either going to die trying to save him, or I was just going to die, or he was going to kill himself. I was even scared what he would do to family members. I didn't know. Some of the different characters in him were really, really mean. He actually had a really nice little boy. He didn't come about that often, but that one I liked. That was just a little side note there. But the keys to unveil your soul spirit is to get really, really quiet and honest with yourself. Who am I? What am I going through? What do I need to let go of? And do an inventory. You do an inventory for yourself like you do for your business. You get really honest. Is it okay for me to be taking somebody calling me names every day? No, it's not. And I want to tell you something else, or I should say share with you something else. If you ask yourself the right questions, you can get so many amazing answers, but you have to ask yourself the questions. Why is a great question to ask yourself about yourself. Why can only be asked about yourself. Why do I feel this way? Why am I going through this? Well, it's because I chose it. Okay, why did I choose it? Because I thought I could save him. Why did I think I could save him? Because I'm a healer. Well, just because you're a healer, why do you think you could save him? He had to be in my presence because it was given by God. Just because we're given an opportunity to grow, which is all our trauma and pain, just because we're given an opportunity to grow does not mean we understand really what that opportunity is. We have to unfold it. We have to open it like a gift. But we don't. We fear it. We run from it. We try to handle it. We don't always do the right things. And if we don't do the right thing long enough, it suffocates us. It takes our spirit. It takes our energy. It takes our chi. And our chi is life. Chi is the air to our living, the breath of life. If we run out of that, we run out of life. Our soul can't live without that. So the key is do an honest inventory of yourself. Get honest and say, okay, before I really go forward with this business, let's say you're already in business. Say, in fact, it's a good thing to do monthly. Say, okay, where am I at? And then every day have morning rituals that define your personal success. So take an inventory. What do you need to get rid of? What do you need to keep? What do you need to do more of? Ask yourself why. If you turn to the past and say, why did that happen? That will not work. That's a victim stance. Why did that happen? Why? And you can't control others. You can't figure out what's in their head. You can't figure out what institution controlled you. Or what they did. You can't figure out anything else. If you're asking why about a place, why about a person, you're not going to get the answer. Why did I choose to be there? That's about yourself. You'll get the answer. So why, using the question why about you or about the past, it makes you wallow in the past. Using why about yourself gives you doors of opportunities, paths, perceptions. So get honest. And then humility. In your business, you want to take the veil off. You want to not be in the comfort zone. You don't want to wear that blanket of wounds. You want to open it, feel the chill, and move forward anyway. Feel the fear and move out of it. Fear is an emotion. Love is an emotion. There are only two emotions, love and fear. Everything positive is under love. Everything negative is under fear. And I often go to the Course in Miracles because only love exists. If it's fear, it doesn't exist at all. I told that to my daughter this year, 15, 16 years old. She goes, really, Mom, there's only two emotions. So if I'm in my bedroom and we get broken into at night, I should not feel fear. I said, I didn't say you shouldn't feel it. I said, fear is not truth, and only truth and love is real. Fear gives you a guidance point. It gives you direction. If you are feeling fear, you are not in the right place. You are going towards something that is bad for you. Honor your inner feelings. You can only feel your inner feelings if you clear out all that debris. You want to grab your divinity in one hand, your desire in the other hand. You want to bring them together by clearing out all that debris. And once your divinity and your desire lock together, then your life can be easily co-created. That honesty is important. Humility, that's another one. I was just given a really good example of what humility is. I do this one group, and every once in a while someone will throw a definition of humility. And every time they do it, it makes sense in the moment, but I can never repeat it, or I can never figure out how to define humility on my own. I just latched on to a meaning that a friend shared with me. He said, humility is the ability to know thoroughly who you are and what your qualities are and who you are not and what you are not. So it's what you are and it's what you are not. We can't be everything in a business. Another thing I did in that business was, since I created so many of the systems, every time we hired somebody, I honestly could do it better than anybody I had the money to hire. I didn't have the big money to hire the people that could do it better than me, which is really why I need to stretch and do. I was in my 20s. I didn't know. I just thought, okay, here, I'll hire you to do models. Actually, the person I hired for models was pretty good. Now, we'll hire somebody to do accounting. We'll hire somebody to do ads. We'll hire somebody to do this. None of them could do it as good or quick as I did because they didn't have my passion. So I ended up being that micromanager that would take it back and do it because I could do it better. And it's really not enforcing them. And I did honor their own way. If they had a different way, I'm like, but I know my way works. So humility is knowing that you can't do it all, knowing who you are, knowing who you aren't. Forgiveness. If you want to unveil your soul print and be more in your business, more of yourself in your business, I need a drink of water, then forgiveness is a huge key. Forgiveness heals you. Forgiveness is never for the other person. Forgiveness is to wipe the slate clean in your heart. You can forgive. You can accept and then release. Say, I release you to the light. And what I do is I pray for the person's their highest good. And I may pray with gritted teeth until I can pray for that person purely. I haven't released it. All right? Then responsibility. We must take 100% responsibility of who we are, what we hold on to, what we do, and how we live. Don't feel, well, I could do this so much better if so-and-so wasn't here. Well, if he didn't limit me, if she didn't do that to me, if she didn't talk like that, I could do this much better. Whatever it is, take full responsibility for who you are, for what you do, and how you share. It's really important. Consistency. Be consistent. Every single day, have a ritual. Oh, I forgot to go back to that. Create rituals that define your personal success. That wording is actually Cody Mannix quote, but I've done rituals since the 90s. I'm all about rituals. I love them. But it's when you do them with your heart, not do them with your head. I challenge you. I challenge you to one thing. Actually, I'm probably going to challenge you to a couple things, but I do challenge you. I challenge you every single day that you wake up. Train yourself. Put a card that says thank you. You know, you hear so many people say, think of the 3 things that you have gratitude for. Think of 3 things you appreciate, or 5 things, or 10 things, or 7 things, whatever it is. And in those moments, you can have a card with all those written, or you can make one change. Wake up and train yourself to go, as soon as that alarm goes off, go thank you. If you say thank you out loud, that tells your brain you're thinking, you're thinking, you're thinking, you're appreciating, you're appreciating, you're appreciating. The more you appreciate, the more appreciation grows, and you see it in all areas. You appreciate yourself better, you're better to yourself, you're better to everybody and everything. You have a smoother morning. I challenge you to wake up every day for 1 week and see what happens. And just say thank you. That starts your day off with gratitude. You don't necessarily have to go straight into this whole new ritual of thinking of 10 things, doing this, doing that, doing that. Don't put 10 things on your plate. Change yourself one raw, juicy moment at a time. That's all you have to do. So the alarm goes off. Thank you. And what I do is I stretch. Well, many people stretch. But when I stretch, I say, I'm stretching beyond my own limitations. I'm more today than I was yesterday. You might want to grow into that one. You might want to do it. You might just want to think it. As you stretch, just know this is beyond yesterday. Today is a fresh day. Fresh start for whatever I desire. Be consistent in your rituals. Your rituals are important. They determine how you feel. If you start your day with thank you, let's say you have a partner that's next to you, you may make them laugh. I make my husband laugh all the time. I've said this before, we have a thank you song we wake up to. It's an a cappella good morning song. And I'm getting used to it now. It's been about 6, 7 months, maybe 8. I don't know. But either way,